Hi everyone, it's Paul. I hope you're all doing okay. We are now just over 48 hours removed from the 2024 Cheltenham Festival. In the past week, I've had loads of DMs off you guys. Thanks so much, as always, for sending it through, asking for my opinion for what it's worth on various horses. Been happy to give them to you. One of the big questions was, am I going to be doing my videos for the 4 days this year? Yes, I am. And I've been reliably told that this year will be my 15th year of doing this in a run, dating back to, God, what will that be, 2009? Jeebus, long time. But no, I enjoy doing them, and I'll be back. I'll be back again this year. Now, I've had a message. Well, I've had a few messages of people asking for multiples, etc., and stuff like that, which is very hard to do, especially while the Willie Mullins bingo is in full cry at the moment, with his multiple entries for multiple horses. But people have asked for various multiples. And the best one I got was, can you do a multiple that includes a double priced horse as well? So yeah, I'm going to give you a bit of a taste, a bit of an each way multiple for you. Five horses, so like an each way lucky 31 type thing. And the other thing, which was the added thing, don't put any odds on in there either. So thanks for making that really difficult. But I'll do my best. Okay, so if I'm going to give you a multiple in terms of horses of different prices, etc. and stuff like that, I'm going to try my best for you. I'm going to do one double price, one towards the high end of single figures, and the rest are in and around 5-1 and shorter type thing to boost it up. So the first one in terms of the big price horse, it's in the Grand Annual on the Wednesday, and I'm a really, really big fan of Liberty Hunter in this. Really, really good form, got a lovely handicap mark. The trainer seems to come alive at Cheltenham, and what I like is this has been his only entry. There's been no other entries, so he's not multiple entry, so I like it when a trainer fixates on a race. Liberty Hunter currently around 10-1, has the right profile for the Grand Annual, so that is the double figure horse. In terms of one at a big price, but single figures, it's currently 9-1. It's actually in the per temps final hurdle, the handicap on the, what day is that on? Let me look. On the Thursday, and it's the horse of Ted Walsh. And I don't know how to pronounce it. It's one of those Irish pronounced names. It looks like it's called Gath Quill, Gaoth, and separate words, Chuil. It looks like a proper Ted Walsh handicap Swizz. Won a couple this season, stays incredibly well, likes giving the ground, which I think is going to be important this week. There's a lot of rain still lurking around Cheltenham. Last time out, I think came fourth. And to be honest, didn't look like it was given a particularly hard time. It just looks like the perfect per temps profile. A horse that travels well, likes soft ground, and stays really well. So that one's currently around 9-1. Now we go to the shorter price horses, and the first one that I'm actually going to throw in there is in the National Hunt Chase. The last race on the Tuesday, and that's what was always called the 4 mile, and now the 3 mile 6 furlong horse race. And I like the second favourite, Embassy Garden, for Willie Mullins. I'd love him to win it this year because the race is named in honour of Maureen, his mother, who died a few weeks ago, sadly. But Embassy Garden has got a really similar profile to like Back in Focus. I think it was called Back in Front about 10, 15 years ago, in that wasn't a particularly great hurdler by any stretch of the imagination, but has stepped up a level since going chasing. And what I've liked is jumps really well over fences, but it's the strength at the end that I really, really like, and looks like it could go further all day. Another one, and Willie Mullins in particular, multiple enters every horse that he has practically. This one has only had the National Hunt Chase as a target. Currently around 5-2, I think, and only 7 have been declared. So I think that's actually a good price. The favourite is short at around 5-4 at the moment. That's Corbett's Cross, which did cost us last year. If you remember, I tipped it up and he ran out at the last when about a length down and staying on. That horse hasn't done anything particularly wrong over fences, but has been beaten fair and square on a couple of occasions. And it comes down to which horse do I think is going to see out the 3 mile, let's call it 3 mile 7. the best, and I've just got a feeling Embassy Gardens has just got that little bit more. I would say as well, Embassy Gardens, I think Patrick Mullins is likely to ride this one as well, being it's for amateur riders, and that's a big tick in the plus column there. So I'm happy to put Embassy Garden in. Next one is in the Stayers Hurdle on the Thursday, and that is Teahupoo for Henry de Bromhead. The horse came third last year in this race, and if we're being completely honest, it got one of the worst rides I've seen in the race. Got caught out wide, got caught on heels at the bottom of the hill, got checked after the last on the run-in, had to switch right, only went down a couple of lengths. Sayer de Burley won it that day. The champions redefending, which is lovely to see. That's one of the things I love about National Hunt Racing, champions going back to defend. But I think he's 12 now, so it will be an unbelievable effort for him to win. Going through the rest of the field as well, Florin Porter, who, as everyone knows, who's watched me long enough, I love that horse, but this seems to have been a very late change in plan. He's been chasing all season and suddenly declared for the Stayers Hurdle. I don't particularly like that as a prep, if I'm being completely honest with you. Crambo is the big British hope for Fergal O'Brien. Won the long walk at Ascot, beating the likes of Paisley Park, a former champion, who's also in there. But I just think Teahupoo has got that. He was a graded winner over like 2 miles. So he's got the speed, and is staying on third last year, and his performance earlier this season shows he's got that mix of speed and stamina. I don't think he'll want it as bottomless ground, but while it's raining now, there isn't much rain as it stands on the Tuesday and the Wednesday, so I think the ground will dry up a bit. And I think Teahupoo on the is a great chance, currently around 11-4. And then finally, on the Friday in the Gold Cup, a lot of things have been battered around, but I still think, and he's drifted now to around 6-4. Galloping Deschamps, he was majestic winning it last year, coming from basically last. And the way he quickened away from everyone, the further he went, the better he was. He had 2 subsequent losses, one after the Gold Cup, and one at the start of the season. I think they're both excusable, if I'm being honest. Obviously, he had a hard race in the Gold Cup, so he was probably a bit over the top by the time he ran at Punchestown. And first run back, he was only beaten a couple of lengths, and Paul Townend said afterwards he had a right good blow afterwards, etc. He then came out over Christmas, and he was superb. His jumping was amazing. And again at the Dublin Racing Festival, both at Leopardstown, what I particularly liked on both was his strength after the last fence, and it's what he showed in the Gold Cup. Now, while Fast or Slow beat him on the first run back and at Punchestown last year, and he's deservedly the second favourite. He's a very good horse. I just think the twice he's beaten him, you can make an excuse for Galloping Deschamps based on the time of the season. In what I call in the crux of the season, which was in December and February, Galloping Deschamps slaughtered him, and I'm expecting him to do the same again. But Fast or Slow, dangerous horse, especially a previous Cheltenham winner. Shishkin's in here. Everyone knows I love Shishkin. I've got massive concerns more about the form of the Henderson yard more than anything else. But if the yard performs all week, he should run a really, really solid race. And, it's the Gold Cup. There's really, really good horses in there. But I just think in terms of class, Galloping Deschamps is definitely the reigning champion. He's still around the right age, and he is the class horse of the race. So there's the 5 horses for you. So the double figure one, Liberty Hunter at 10-1. I can't even remember what it is. Oh, Liberty Hunter at 10-1. I think he'll go off a lot shorter. We'll call him Gath Quill. We'll call him that at 9-1 in the per temps. Embassy Garden currently around, it's 11-4. I can just say here now in the National Hunt Chase. Also around 5-2 as it is now is Teahupoo, and around 6-4 Galloping Deschamps. I don't know what that will pay as a multiple if you did say an each way lucky 15, but it's going to be pretty massive. I'll be back tomorrow with day one. And yeah, this is going to be tough this year, especially with the Willie Mullins bingo going on. And I fancy quite a few of the Henderson horses to run well in normal terms, but we'll cover all that off over the next 4 days. But let us know what you're doing. Good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow for day one. Cheers, guys. Take care.